Yo, their point guard, I don't know what he runs in a 40, but that man is quick.
Yo, I fuck with the Spiders, man. And just like
Yeah.
Richmond in general is a good place to hang out. I'm going to pick them just off the
That
strength.
gave me really great pointers on how to get pissed up before a soccer game. So I'm really excited.
Wait, what are the pointers?
Dramatic, man. That was a journey.
Fitzmagic in September is like one of the hottest athletes in the world.
It was like FU Up Fridays, and I guess he got me. I went with baseball, but it has different rules that go along with it that kind of go behind our underlying theme of getting fans involved, keeping fans.
If I catch it
interested.
in my beer, does that still count?
10 seconds.
Episode 100. And it's a celebration, bitches. Let the campaign pop. Confetti all over the place. Let's have a day.
Oh,
I don't know how to do this.
I didn't shake it up.
Oh, wait.
Shake it, Fitz, shake it.
Dude, I got a dead one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If Devin gets any better. Yeah.
Ooh.
Nice.
Hey, this is any indication how this episode's going. It's going to be a rough one. But you know what? We're still celebrating. It's still fun. We got the whole pub. The crew is here. We got Jay Gray, Fitz, Matt, Tim, Devin, and myself. It's going to be one hell of a day regardless. And I'm excited for it. So, without further ado, let's get episode 100 popping. And before we dive into current sports, current events, all that good stuff, let's take it back and reflect. Let's look at our Mount Pubmore of special guests.
Oh, I like that.
So, we've had some amazing guests on in these almost 2 years we've done this, 100 straight weeks. Who would have thought we've done it? Who is your all's favorite guest that we could put on Mount Pubmore?
I'm just going to go out and say it. Joey Chestnut has to be on the pub.
Has
Mount
to be.
Pubmore.
Has
I mean,
to be.
Has to be.
I never had an understanding of like the mindset of a competitive eater, and Joey Chestnut just blew my mind. And I think collectively we all agree like that was a hell of an interview, hell of an episode. I think we all took something from it. He's got to go on there, right?
I think so too, because you learn so much about him, and you only see him like on 4th of July weekend and in that 30 for 30 documentary. You really don't get a chance to know him. He's a really cool dude. Like he is down for the boys, and I'm here for it.
Yeah, he was an early teaser for us too. We thought we had him in the bag, and then he didn't. And then we got him for an interview like a month before the hot dog eating contest, which I was like, man, like Pub Sports Talk doing it big. So yeah, and he was just great to have. Just that was a really fun episode.
Yeah, Fitz. I've totally forgotten that. I was ready to blackball him, put him in the Pac-Man Jones pile, and throw him away for the pub. But glad we didn't have to do that to him.
Yeah, Pac-Man's on me. I just never sent that email.
What are we doing? Episode 200, Pac-Man. He's coming on.
Oh God.
All right, so lock him in. All right. We got Joey Chestnut, slot number 1. It's slot 2. This might be controversial, but maybe not. Mine's Asher Roth.
Ooh.
I think not only like featuring a rap artist that's on my Spotify, but his takes on March Madness were awesome. I thought that whole episode, like picking his brain, he was knowledgeable of the sport. He had some really good takes and was going in. And looking back, that was one of my favorites. Just listening to, again, just two things I love: music and college hoops, and it all came together in that one. So Asher Roth's my 2. I don't know about you guys.
What I loved about Asher Roth was that you could hear him eating a taco or a burrito as he was talking, and it was like the most ordinary everyday shit that you'd ever heard. Like I love that, like, yes, he made a name for himself and he's continuing to make a name for himself. But when he sat down with you guys, it was like he was just having a beer with the bros and eating his taco. It was great.
Exactly, Jay Gray. That's exactly how I felt about it. Like everything felt natural. Like it's like, oh shit, we got Asher Roth on. As soon as he gets on, it's like, oh, he's down for the bros too. Like this is good. This is a good conversation.
I'm going to throw one out there. I really enjoyed, I didn't get a chance to be on this show, but I really enjoyed listening to Jayana Burgess.
Oh, yeah.
The NBA G League scout, or is she a scout?
No, so she worked in the creative department for the G League.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, but listening to her and like just her experiences coming up, especially as a woman working in the NBA, was really, really inspiring. And just how she pushes every day and contributes and how hard it can be, especially in the G League, to keep those guys motivated and to keep fans motivated to come. So it was really interesting to listen to her and hear her story.
Yeah, no doubt. And she crushed it. And she actually moved on from the G League, which is kind of sad to say, but exciting for her. She's moved in with I just had it. Wonderman Thompson, which is kind of like a creative branch, and they do a lot of really random stuff all across the globe, which I know she's pumped for. But yeah, to like dial in on the G League, I was pumped for it because I didn't know anything about it, and so I know Tim was upset he didn't get his Gatorade packet that he was supposed to get his testing on. But other than that, I think it was a hell of an episode. Slate, Matt.
You could technically put like my pick into, even though they're two people, into one person. Kato and T. Henny. I absolutely loved that episode. It was nice to talk to somebody about football. I think those two guys were absolutely brilliant. Absolutely loved that episode. Loved being on it. Great episode. One of my favorite guys I've had on.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Well,
we've had him on multiple times. Yeah. It's your show, Matt. We're gonna let you have it.
Damn right it is.
Honorable mention. We all brought a soccer correspondent on.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Oh,
that was a fun episode.
That was a good one. Just let him duke it out. Slate, anybody stick out to you?
I was gonna say, just piggybacking off of Matt's, we could put all of the App State football players on there. Every single one of them has been really enjoyable to talk to, and it's kind of like a blast from the past for me at least. But mine is Big Bad Brad Johnson.
Big Bad
That was
Brad.
a hell of an interview.
Big Bad Brad.
I can't say that quick. Yeah, love talking to him. Loved hearing about his just football experience as a whole, and the Super Bowl and everything. So very cool.
Yeah, somebody you grew up with, and like you get to watch, and you're like, oh shit! Like I remember playing with you on Madden, and now you're talking to us, which is pretty cool.
Insane.
Yeah, and his journey. Like in his life, I mean, like basketball, football, across the board.
Yeah,
and it was just crazy. His journey, just really, really fun to listen to his story.
And he still got it too.
Oh yeah,
like the TikTok he's putting out, still got it, still slinging it.
And not to mention the Kurt Warner story. They just dropped 55 on him.
Dotted 55 in his eyes, son. I'm here for it. I actually got a Kurt Warner's helmet right there. I wish I'd have had it out for Brad Johnson. Maybe I'll get him to sign it and just 55 dotted. That was awesome. For me, I think our first one sticks out to me. Getting Zach Thomas, ZT12. And that's still, I think, our fourth highest listened episode. Like it gets listens every single week. Really cool dude. And I think it kind of got our foot in the door for some of these other interviews. So that one sticks out to me too. But honestly, we haven't had a bad guest from Can Jam CFOs to Pure Spectrum CFOs and Adam Brenneman, who's trying to create content for the NFL draft and that type of stuff. Isaiah Likely, even though he's from Coastal, which we hope to see his name called this weekend. Really awesome guest, and I can't thank him enough for hopping on. And hopefully in the next 100, we get some even better guests and some cooler guys and get these guys back on. That'd be dope as hell.
I still have Cameron People. Cameron People sets the bar for all college players with my NFL ceiling and floor question.
That was a great question.
Cameron Peoples went deep on the running backs, and I just like he is here, and everyone else they're good, but Cameron Peoples he's by far my favorite app guest just for that.
Well, DeMarco Jackson tore apart your list with who he said.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
And he basically just took my list. And, yeah, he also did well.
Yeah. It's bar's raised, boys. You coming on the pub, you better come correct for Fitz's questions. The bar has been raised. I love it. Well, hey, speaking of draft and all that good stuff, let's talk about some NFL draft, which starts Thursday. It's held in Vegas this year. A lot of stakes up for grabs here. It's going to be one hell of a draft. And I don't think anybody has a clue what's going on. I could not put that music on there. I just couldn't do it. You know? But this draft, it came out 2 days ago that Walker from Georgia is now the favorite to be taken number 1 overall. Even though Aiden Hutchinson had led for 3 or 4 months straight in the Vegas odds here. Do you guys have a clue who's going first here? How do we feel about the draft? Any and all thoughts? What do you got for me?
This is the biggest mystery. I think you nailed it. Like, there's draft years where, and maybe we've been spoiled because of the quarterbacks. Like, again, I think that the quarterbacks have been a key component. And this year, I haven't heard anything about quarterbacks. Like, I feel like no one's really considering. But, yeah, I think we're going to see a lot of trades. I think there's a lot of teams. Like, I think the Packers have like 11 picks. I think the Ravens have like, how many of y'all got, Devin? Like 10? So I don't know. I think a lot of teams are loaded with picks, and I think we're going to see a lot of trades. And yeah, just be ready for complete chaos. I don't think anything's on lock at this point.
Mm-mm. No, I agree. I was listening to some FanDuel, the heads odds maker for FanDuel, talking. He's like, yeah, we feel real confident. We've seen a lot of money come in on Walker. And it's like, get the fuck out. Like, no, you don't. Like, no one is confident of this number 1 pick. No one at all. Get out of here, FanDuel.
Well, I mean, the other thing you have to think about is the number 1 pick's going to Jacksonville. Their new head coach is an offensive head coach.
Yeah.
I don't think they're picking defense. In fact, okay, I looked it up because I didn't know who else I would say. But I remembered this guy, Parker, you and I saw him play at NC State. Ike Ekenwanu.
Close enough for me.
He had to protect their quarterback, whose name I can't remember, okay, against a Clemson defense, which, yes, regardless of our season this season, the defense was still a Brent Venables defense and was still a dangerous, tough defense. And he protected that quarterback. I think that quarterback only had 3 sacks on him in a double overtime game. So, I mean, you can't overlook him. NC State actually has had a few offensive linemen come in and do very well. One of those being the guy that's with the Vikings. Quentin Nelson is from NC State. Maybe he's still with the Colts. I have no idea where he is.
He's still with the Colts, yeah.
But he was with NC State, and he has been doing really well. Has been a staple of the offensive line. So I would look out for him. I wouldn't be surprised to see his name called first overall.
I like that. I like that a lot, Jay Gray. And for a while, it was Neal from Alabama that was leading the charge for offensive linemen. And then all of a sudden, Aquano just comes out of nowhere from State, and his film doesn't lie. Like you said, we saw him in person, Jay Gray. We saw them take down the mighty Clemson with him being from NC State, and he does his job, and he does his job damn well. Any team that gets him is going to be lucky to have him. Me as a Cincinnati fan, I'm thinking, hey, let's trade up. Let's go get him. But, we're not going to do that. Tim, go ahead.
Oh,
let the people know what you have in your hand, Tim.
Oh, funny you should notice that. I have the Pick'ems trophy for football. This is weird, right? So I think my picks are pretty good, and I'm calling it right now. Aiden Hutchinson's dropping to number 2, the Detroit Lions, MCDC. We're going to the playoffs next year. Aiden is going to have a defensive rookie of the year. Book it.
Hammer down.
Yeah, I hope he does well, but did anyone else watch that game that Michigan lost like by 60 to Georgia too. Like, I don't trust him. I don't trust him.
He's one guy.
I mean, he
Yeah,
is.
he's
I
one guy.
don't
Come
trust him.
Georgia has like an
Listen,
army.
I hope he does well. I hope he does not come to the Patriots, although Bill Belichick loves Michigan men. I hope he does.
Evan, I thought that was a slight at the Lions.
Oh yeah. I mean that too. Yeah, he's one guy.
You guys
I thought
just
it was
wait.
Joe Pesci over there. It's one guy, huh? I'm funny how? Funny like a clown? Do I amuse you like a clown?
Never dug a hole before. I dig a hole. I think I've never dug a hole.
And I will like to just remind all of our listeners out there that Detroit is the second pick and the Jags are the first pick. Just a little bet we had, last season, Matt and I. If anyone needed a reminder, So yeah, my picks, go ahead and book it. It's set in stone. Aiden, number 2.
Hey, I can see it, especially with Walker being the favorite now. I mean, if Aiden gets to stay in Michigan and Dan Campbell gets to bite kneecaps alongside Hutchinson, hey, all it takes is one player. Cincinnati's living proof of that. It takes one player to get to the Super Bowl, Tim. You're ready to go.
Let's do it, boys. Let's go.
What are the draft thoughts we got?
Has Thibodeau just like dropped out of contention for this? I thought he was like the lock a few months ago for some reason.
So it seems like every draft expert is either he's in the top 3 or he's going late first round. Like there's no in between. So we got like a Brady Quinn situation here where like Brady Quinn was either going to be a number 1 pick or he was going to slide on down and he's going to be sitting in that green room coming to a meme. So I don't know, man. To me, his athleticism is freakish. Like it's out the roof. I don't know why they don't love him besides his personality, which we heard about last week, that his personality is kind of iffy. But other than that, to me, I think he's a dude that can straight up ball.
I've been curious. I know we talked about Kyle Hamilton before, the safety out of Notre Dame. I think he's, I thought before like mock drafts were coming out, I would have put him like top 5, maybe maybe like a safety going 5th overall. And I just don't know if people draft safeties that high, but he's one that just seems can't miss to me. So
If
I've been
I'm
surprised.
not mistaken, I didn't think that he had that great of a combine.
Okay. And that's what I figured.
Maybe that was, I can't remember if it was him. I'm pretty sure it was.
I'm just saying, based on the season, based on the way he has played at Notre Dame, he just seems like an elite. Like he's coming in as like the elite safety that you only see like once every 4 years in the draft.
Yeah, kind of reminds me of a little honey badger. Like he just goes coast to coast, sideline to sideline. He can fill the gaps in for you.
Yeah,
He runs the lanes really well.
Yeah, I think Slate's right though that like he didn't have a great combine. That like his film is athletic as hell, but the combine didn't quite live up to expectations. But it's one day. Like everybody can have a bad day.
Mm-hmm.
Go off the film because I think a lot of experts have him going top 5.
Yeah.
From what I've seen. But once again, this draft, I don't think there's a true expert for this draft.
I would just say I'm looking at, I don't even know who this guy is, Bucky Brooks mock draft, but he moved up. My guy Sauce Gardner.
Too much sauce.
I'm all about some sauce.
Dude, Sauce looks insane in the open field. Like in the combine, all his stuff is so damn smooth. It's unreal.
With a name like Sauce, you better be damn smooth.
How tall is he?
6'3", maybe.
Jeez. Okay. Man.
Because that was like one of the things that they were freaking out about. It's like, how in the world can somebody this tall run like that?
Man.
Well, I love it. Hey, the draft kicks off Thursday. It'll go Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Listeners, watchers, let us know. Who do you think is going number 1? Who do you think is getting left in the green room in Vegas? And who do you think is going to be the ultimate sleeper of the draft? Now, real question. My bookie, over under 2.5 quarterbacks taken in the first round. What are we doing with that number? Do we think more than 2.5 quarterbacks are being taken or under?
I couldn't even tell you 2 quarterbacks in this draft.
Yeah, under.
Under. That's what I think. Under 2. Because
Yeah.
if you look at all the top 5 picks, they all have quarterbacks for the most part.
Yeah. I was thinking team needs is like once you get in the later rounds, all the playoff teams pretty much have QBs.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's going to be a prop bet for like the decibel level of booze that Goodell gets
That's
when he first gets
That's
to the
something I
podium.
want in on.
Yeah, I don't know if it is, but Raphael, you need to get on that.
Yeah, Raphael, let's make this happen ASAP.
I don't know why that reminded me of like Joe Rogan's like, could you pull that up, Jamie? No, you need to get on it.
So we just need Raphael like in the production booth for us. And it's like, hey, get
Yeah.
on that stat for us ASAP. He's like, yeah, I'll set the number right here. Well, speaking of booze and stuff, I know we saw this because we were in the group chat talking about it, in the Instagram chat talking about it. Yankee fans, ruthless, throwing garbage, throwing trash. Guardians ain't about that life. They're ready to fight everybody in the stadium. And so this brings up a really big question. Do fans take sports in general way too far? Like at the end of the day, these are human beings throwing trash and garbage. Yeah, you can shit talk and smack talk like we talked about last week with Kyrie Irving. And we want players to give it back and have some give and take there. But did the Yankee faithful go too far here? Jay Gray, I know you're a Boston fan, so I'll let you have first at bat with this.
I mean, me and Jay Gray both are kind of biased on this.
Yeah, we're both AL East. Do I think they went too far? Probably. But would the same thing probably happen at Fenway? Definitely.
Ooh, okay.
And
Taking the high road. Look at you,
It
Jay.
could be arguably worse. I mean, those fans, I mean, it wouldn't be coming from left field, right field, wherever the monster is, because those are really hard seats to get. But the bleachers get ugly real quick.
In right field, they're like right on top of you.
Oh yeah, they're on top of the bullpen, and like when I was a little kid and my dad would take me up there, like he'd be like, "Do not tell your mom I took you here, and do not repeat anything you hear." So, I mean, am I going to be the Boston fan and be like, "Oh, that's classless"? Yeah, but like the same thing could probably easily happen in Boston. Now, I think the fans question is kind of hard for a lot of us because we're so used, or at least for me, I grew up with college sports being the number one. And I can tell you from my experience with college sports is I'm willing to say over 50% of the time, the fans that are the ugly, mean fans are either drunk out their brains and won't remember it the next day, or people in the college stance, people who didn't go to the school but grew up around the school and just became fans because that was like the University of South Carolina. If you went to USC Aiken, you're probably a University of South Carolina fan, because you don't have a football team, but you're in the USC school system. So like, I argue that they're drunk assholes, or they are so passionate because that is just the only thing they have close to like a big college experience.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's what I can take from it.
Damn, that's hateful.
But I mean, you're not wrong, Jay. I mean, honestly, you're not wrong.
Absolutely.
Well, it started with the fans were cheering for an injury, right?
Yeah.
It was an outfielder.
Oh.
Outfielder got hurt, and it wasn't even the fans that were throwing beer. It was a different group of fans,
It was a
and it
different
happened
section.
later. Yeah.
It was something to do with Miles Straw, the center fielder, and the stories just like kind of combobulated. The main thing was just like the garbage, but something happened when the injury happened with Straw.
Yeah.
He jumped up on the fence,
Mhm.
and then that new video came out where he's like, "Hit me, motherfucker!" Like, and
Yeah.
got up in that guy's face, and the guy was just like, "Oh, I won't do nothing." But
No.
then it translated like once they hit the walk off, they started throwing shit and just being dumb as fuck.
Well, it really frustrates me that like 99.999% of these fans that chirp and talk shit and like throw stuff are really not about that life. Like you get pressed by one of these 6'8" athletes who just, piss testosterone left and right. They get in your grill, like you're gonna back down real quick. You go from Oh yeah, you ain't doing shit to like, oh, I'm sorry, sir. Have a great day. My apologies, good sir. God bless you. Like, if you're gonna do this as a fan, you better be ready to get knocked the hell out or be able to, protect yourself. Because after you break certain protocols, after you come for somebody's like livelihood like that, you better get ready to get pressed because shit's about to get real for you.
I mean, Mike Tyson gave you that example this week. He punched a guy who was trying to take a picture with him on an airplane. I don't blame him. Get out of my face.
Yeah, that video is like extremely obnoxious. Like it gives me like secondhand anxiety just like watching it. I'm like, dude, Mike Tyson's gonna kill you.
Yeah. It's crazy. Tim, Matt, any thoughts to add to it?
Yeah, I think they should take that whole lot of fans. They should go down the road to MetLife and do the old-fashioned blood sacrifice to the turf god. Just let it feed on them because they're garbage. I don't know. It's like you said. It's like there's got to be that fine balance, like with Kyrie and the fans, and he's kind of bouncing back with it. But like trash. Someone allegedly throwing a beer on Ron Artest. Like these things should not happen. Fans throwing.
What do you mean allegedly? It was caught on video.
Was that the
Okay.
The dude went to jail for it.
Yeah, there's pretty damning proof that he threw beer at Ron Artest. But like, as much as I love the Mouse in the Palace, you can't do that. The line's drawn, and when you cross it, you go to the turf god. So bye. See ya.
So there's a famous quote once said by a Liverpool manager. Some people believe football is a matter of life and death, and I can assure you it's much more serious than that. People work, over here like throughout the week, and then they spend like 60, 70 quid, probably over 100 quid a week to watch football, and then you see your team and like the players aren't putting a shift in. You'll be fucking furious, absolutely furious if they're just lazing around and they're earning like 20 grand a week. You know what I mean? So absolutely fair play for any of those fans for just like giving all their players an absolute hard time. Yeah, okay, they're human beings, but also you're being paid to play football. Put a shift in.
All right, hey, that's a great point, and we're about to segue to someone who hasn't put their shit in yet. But on the flip side of it, yes, there's God-given talent, but they sacrifice so much from youth sports, high school, college to get to where they are that, people want to trade places with them. Hey, I'll trade paychecks with you, but they weren't willing to do the work when they were younger to get there. Now, yes, there is God-given talent. And I'm just playing devil's advocate for you here, Matt, just to kind of poke the bear over there at 2 a.m. for you. But, I heard that argument the other day. I was like, man, I didn't really think about that. Like, yeah, I wasn't sacrificing everything when I was younger to go to play in the NFL. No, I'm 6 foot, 180 pounds when I graduated high school. I wasn't going to the NFL anyways. But, some people are willing to work that hard. Wes Welker, Cooper Kupp from the Rams. I'm just naming wide receivers at this point, but
Jordy
Nelson, yeah.
Hunter
Renfro, yeah.
Keep it up.
How many other Caucasian white receivers can we name?
Let me say one more thing because you mentioned Kyrie in Boston. Boston did not back down to Kyrie. Let me tell you, we still let him have it. So appropriately, surprisingly. But
appropriately, yeah. And I love it. Like Kyrie was giving it right back to him. Like that's the way it should be. You're gonna talk smack, I'm gonna give it right back to you. You can handle it. Cool. We got this thing going all night long. If you can't, then there's a door. But yeah. Well, someone who has not been putting the work in and they're getting exposed on social media by Hall of Famers. Ben Simmons. Is he soft or is he misunderstood? He's coming off a back injury. He was supposed to play last night in Game 4 of the Celtics Nets so they wouldn't get swept. He didn't show up. He didn't play. He was playing little video games instead. Questionable decision. Ben Simmons, how do you feel about it?
Man, I'm gonna get real theological on y'all. I think we're all a little soft and misunderstood. I'll just be real honest.
Go ahead, Rev.
Preach it, brother. Preach it, brother.
I don't know. I don't know. Ben Simmons gets a bad rap. He always does. And he is an enigma in the sense that we've never seen someone like with the potential, like with his athleticism, who just shoots like dog shit. Like we've never seen that. And it is just an anomaly. It's like this guy, if he hit, 55, let's say 60% of his open shots, he'd be an all-star, like no brainer. But he's shooting like 30%. Or like maybe worse. It's crazy. So I don't know. It's just interesting. But I also think people want to blame him. Like I've seen things like blaming him for the reason the Nets are getting swept. And it's bigger than that. They're not playing as a team. They've got big names and talent, but they're not playing good basketball.
Yeah, I mean they try to buy their way to the ring, and you're lucky when it happens, and there's not lucky. It was never going to work, I don't think, with that type of personalities on there. But
yeah, I don't think it's fair to say that he's the reason they got swept, because I can tell you way more superstars on the Nets, and I don't even watch the damn sport than I could the Celtics, and they're getting swept. Like, and I wonder if it was an organizational thing. Like, did the organization say like, "Hey, you're just coming off an injury. We're down 3-0. It doesn't really fucking matter."
Well, he hasn't played all season, and the organization was like, "Hey, he's gonna play Monday. He's gonna play Monday." Woke up Monday morning with a stiff back, and was like, "No, I'm out."
Well, I can say from kind of experience, you don't want to mess around with a back to give him some benefit of the doubt. You really don't want to mess around with your back. But I do think, I mean, it's your last game. You win it or you're not playing until October again. Do you really want to win a game? That's kind of where I am right there. But on the other hand, I think about the organizations he has played for. It's not like he's coming from playing for Charlotte. He's coming from playing for Philly to the Nets against Boston. Those are some of the most brutal fan bases in that little scenario that you could ever think of. Okay. So, I mean, those are fan bases that aren't going to coddle him. And I think that's what we're seeing.
I think you're absolutely right. I mean, they're ruthless, and you don't perform, you don't suit up, a lot of fingers are pointed at you. And it kind of reminds me of the old debate, old basketball versus new age basketball. You don't hear about guys taking, live or die games off. No matter the injury, no matter what they've got going on, whether Jordan's betting $1 million on a hole in golf or not, he loses it. He's still showing up 7:00 at night to play some basketball. Or, Larry Bird breaking a wrist and be like, "Hey, I tape it up. Let me go. I'm rolling with it." So it's just a new age versus old age that I don't think we're used to. I don't know. I'm trying to give him some benefit of the doubt, but I can't do it. I just can't.
Clay going back out. Was it Clay who went out to shoot free throws on his torn Achilles? I know Kobe did it.
Kobe did it, yeah.
But I haven't seen that. I want him to prove me wrong. I wish the best for him, but
yeah, I just can't. Doctor, any thoughts here?
Who you talking to, man? I'm a physical therapist, but not a doctor. So, what comes to mind is I think people need to, I don't know. You see two sides of the fence being played here. So, the example that comes to mind, it's a watered down version of what we're seeing currently. But look at KD when he was playing for the Warriors, ruptured his Achilles. He had a calf strain for most of the series. People are pounding the table, after, of course, hindsight 2020, after he ruptured his Achilles. Wow, is he playing? He had a sore,
Yeah.
You look at the data and a calf strain and you're doing this explosive movement, you're likely to tear your Achilles. Why in the world is he playing? And then you get people in this situation like Ben Simmons, who has had a lot going on mentally and physically, and he doesn't feel his body's ready to go, and people are now pounding the table that he's soft. And it's like, what are you saying? What do you guys want? You guys want them to watch out for their bodies, or do you want to watch them injure themselves more? I don't get it. I've been an advocate of load management this whole time, and I'm cool with like Jay Gray was saying. It's the end of the series. Like, what difference are you gonna like? Are you gonna reverse sweep if Ben Simmons plays? Are you reverse sweeping the? No, you ain't reverse sweeping them. You're done.
Yo, but if he does, he just rewrote his whole career. If he does that, if he comes back, they win 4 games in a row. People are like, Ben Simmons next to LeBron, best name in basketball right now.
Yeah, I was holding my tongue because you
Other side
mentioned
of that,
Oh,
he goes out and shoots 10%, and
Yeah,
he's back in the same fucking scenario.
slips a disc, he's crippled for life. Yeah,
Yeah, geez. So I don't know. I think he's gonna do his thing, and I'm cool with it. And I'm cool with any player at this level who says, you know what, I'm out this game. That's on you. It's ultimately what you write in the game. And Ben Simmons, I'm cool with him. Just didn't make sense for him to risk things like this for a seemingly lost season.
yeah. Matt, you're kind of mean mugging there. Any thoughts on it?
Don't fuck with your back. Like, if you've got a bad back, don't play. Like, whoever's saying that, oh, he's soft, has never had a bad back in their life. Like, honestly.
Well, you mentioned Larry Bird, and I'm like, Larry Bird broke his back, like paving his mom's driveway in French Lick, Indiana.
Stupid
And
Larry Bird.
basically,
Yes, episode 100, baby. We quoted it. Let's go.
Troll show.
We should have had a bingo book for something
Yeah,
for
we
episode
should.
100. I think just a small point. I think it was the Baker Mayfield interview where, like, I think it was that interview where he was saying, like, he doesn't go to a car shop and, like, while a mechanic's working on a car and just start booing the mechanic. Like, I don't know. I just think that's funny. In this situation, people are just like, wow, Ben sucks. I can't believe you played. He's going to show up to your office one day and just be like, wow, dude, your typing sucks.
Yeah, I'd still be like, hey, it's better than your free throw percentage, brother.
Heyo.
Oh, shit. Yeah, good point. Hey, let's take with basketball here. NBA playoffs. They're heating up. One series, finally locked and loaded. Celtics are moving on. First team to clinch second round here. Jay Gray's repping the KG jersey. Anything is possible. I love it. Love it. How are we feeling about these playoffs? There's some really great series, and there's some series that are just kind of a runaway freight train here. I mean, we look at the Suns, Pelicans, 2-2. Things are heating up. I don't know which way that's going. I was all about the Suns at the beginning. Now I'm like, oh, Pelicans, they might get this thing done. Mavs, Jazz, we knew that was going to be a bar fight, and it has not disappointed. Warriors, Nuggets, 3-1. I think that's going how most people thought it would. Grizzly, T-Wolves. We knew T-Wolves were scrappy, but damn, I didn't think they'd be pushing this close to it. And then on the other side, Heat taking care of Atlanta pretty easy. Philly, Toronto, and it's a close series, but I think they're going to lock it out and get it done here in the next day or so. Bucks, Chicago, same thing, 3-1 Bucks. How do we feel about these playoffs?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
thought the
first
Sixers. I thought the Sixers were going to sweep. First of all, they cost me money on that.
Oof.
But yeah, go Dev.
What the hell's going on with the protest at is it the Timberwolves?
Dude, every single game.
What is happening? Does
I don't
anybody
know what
the
the
actual
protest is about.
is?
I don't have a clue.
They're doing
I
a
know
really
one
good job
lady-
marketing it. Good job, guys.
One lady super glued
Way to
her
put it
hand
out
to the
there.
court. One lady handcuffed herself to the basket, and the other lady didn't get a chance to do anything. She was tackled as soon as she got on the court. So,
Dude, that guy needs a contract ASAP.
hey, you see the video of him just looking at her? Like he broke down film. He was watching. Him and John Gruden are sitting there like, all right, she does this. This is where we move.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's something to do with like the owner of the Timberwolves, I guess he killed like a bunch of birds or something,
Oh my god.
and
Oh, okay,
people
that's
are
cool.
protesting that, I think, or trying to raise awareness, but clearly it's not doing a great job.
Are these NBA fans or they're just find a way to get to the game?
They're-
I don't know.
I don't
Yeah,
even
they're
think
dropping some money because there's like courtside seats for playoff games.
I didn't know that was what it was. So apparently I know what you're talking about. I know what it is now. So apparently he owned some like chicken farms, and the birds, like a bunch of the chickens had like avian flu or something like that. So they basically like cooked them alive. Like it like basically burnt down the whole chicken farm. Okay, yeah.
That's
yeah,
absurd.
Yeah.
It's insane, but
And now all the bird
didn't know
advocates
those were-
are coming to the games.
Yo, Tip, when you said he killed a bunch and you kind of took a weird pause, and I was like, do we got Michael Myers on our hand owning the fucking T-Wolves over here?
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Great
But,
playoffs.
yeah. On and
How,
off the court, we're
yeah.
solid.
How 76ers would it be for them to just get rocked by the Raptors after almost sweeping?
Yeah, having a 3-2 lead and just trying to just claw their way back.
Lose on a Kawhi roll again.
I mean, Toronto is no slouch. They still got weapons. They're still one of the best offenses in the league.
Well, that Embiid game winner, game 3, I was like, all right, they're sweeping. I mean, it just felt like that was Toronto they controlled that whole game, and they let Philly back in it, and then I don't even know if that was the option. You know, like on the inbound play to Embiid, they had like less than a second turnaround, just straight buckets.
Yeah.
It's just like, man, Embiid, he's locked in. But yeah, I mean, now is 3-2 now?
3-2.
Jeez. Yeah, it looked like they had it. Looked like they were going to sweep and then at least win in 5. So, yeah, that's surprising.
Any other playoff thoughts that we got?
Yeah, I've been watching a little bit of that Dallas Jazz game series. That one, well, mostly because Anyway, that one's been really, really interesting. It's some really, really good basketball being played. And by good basketball, I mean it's team basketball. Like I'm not here to see the LeBrons and the Kyries and the Kevin Durant's just dribble around themselves with the ball. I want to see actual teamwork. And that one's like really impressed me with how well they share the ball. I haven't gotten to see a Timberwolves game yet, but I feel like it would be the same sort of story. Both of those teams just share the ball really well. So I've been happy with the, I guess, quality of team basketball I've seen.
Well, I think that's the thing is like the reason the Nets lose all 4 games is that's my hope is I think the NBA has kind of transcended into this. I think part of it is like the Warriors. I think the Warriors showed like, no, you got to be able to like move the ball, find your shooters. And maybe it's in that Spurs basketball, you know, it's essentially just kind of the Spurs. I've always said the Warriors are the Spurs, but with 3-point shooting. Like that's basically what you get. And I think that's where the game has evolved. I mean, with those series you mentioned, Jay Gray, T-Wolves and the Grizzlies has been like a track meet. Those teams just run. Ant-Man and Ja Morant are they're just athletic as mess. Like they just run the floor really well. But I think the big thing for the Jazz Mavs, I mean, we've seen the Jazz is they've been playing at a high level defensively. That's been their really team defense has been what's kind of carried them the past few years. I was curious with the Mavs with Luka out. Like I wasn't sure they were going to be able to hang around. And they won 2 without Luka. And then, you know, and he just won game 5 for him. So that's what makes Dallas interesting is if they can figure out a way to close, I think they create a pretty scary matchup for the Suns who don't have D-Book now. So So that's a team to keep an eye on, just the Mavs. It could be a Lucas show, at least getting to the Western Conference Finals.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of Alex Marinelli last week talked about, hey, this is a little old school basketball here of hey, you let your star Luka get hot, and the supporting cast make sure they're doing their job, and everybody's getting their touches. Like Jay Gray said, it's a lot of team basketball that we see. Yes, your stars, he's facilitating everything, he's getting his touches, but the whole team is they all came together, and both those teams are just clicking right now, which is pretty awesome to watch. And I didn't realize Booker was out. So, yeah, this series got a lot hotter for the Suns. Any other thoughts for NBA basketball?
Steph is amazing. Like, that's all. He is just – I love it. And I think we forgot about it. But and so I'm also curious, that's even where I'm keeping an eye on in the West. It's probably going to be – I mean, we'll see. The Jazz could win 2 here. It'll probably be Suns, Mavs, and then Warriors would face. I don't even care who they play. Warriors will probably beat whoever they play. So then it's like, is it going to be Warriors and the Suns without D-Book? Or is it going to be Warriors and this Luka Doncic Mavs team? Can't say his name. I struggle with those European names, Matt. I'm sorry.
I'm sure Matt loves that.
But I don't know. I just like a Curry versus Luka showdown with great support around both those teams. Just really exciting playoffs.
Yeah, I forget how electric Curry can be when he's healthy, when he's on, and the supporting cast is doing what they're supposed to do. Like all season long, even last season, I was like, maybe Curry hit his prime. Maybe Curry's done for. Nope, this postseason, he's like, let me show you. Primetime Curry's back. Yeah. All right. Matt, you ready for some footy selections?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
That's my Stephen Sherrod impression. Right. So over the weekend, we had Liverpool play Everton. This is the Merseyside derby. These are the 2 main teams in Liverpool. And this game, was all about the top of the table and the bottom of the table. Liverpool are gunning hard to win the league. They are 1 point behind Man City. Everton, a team that's always been finishing between 6th and 10th in the Premier League for literally about 20 years, are currently in the relegation zone. They're in serious trouble. They'll be going down to the league below. This hasn't happened to Everton in probably decades and decades. So yeah, this would be a huge scalp of Everton to get relegated, and they'll be in serious trouble. So watch out, T. Henny. I know you support Everton, but yeah, this was a proper fierce game. You guys talked about scrapping in the NBA. This was a proper scrap. Sadio Mane poked one of the Everton's players in the eye. There was tackles flying in everywhere. It's amazing it wasn't a red card. It was like proper kicking the shit out of each other. It was a proper derby, and the fans were getting into each other. It was a great game to watch. It wasn't the prettiest game to watch, but it's a proper fierce derby. You want to see some aggression. So yeah, so that was really good game to watch. So looking forward, we've only got 4 games left in the Premier League season.
4?
Only 4 games left.
Whoa. What are we doing?
I know, it's ridiculous. And the game to look forward to this week. Sorry, I'm trying to look up the fixtures and my mouse is not working on my laptop. So the games to look up for this week. We got Newcastle home to Liverpool. Since Newcastle became the richest club in the world, they've gone from the bottom of the table to 9th in the league. They've won an unbelievable run. Now, Liverpool will need to keep on winning to win the league. This is going to be a crucial game. However, it's on at 7 o'clock in the morning US time. So if you wake up early and you've got nothing to do, chuck it on. But there is a good game to watch. Monday the 2nd. Man United are at home to Brentford. Man United are trying to push towards Champions League. Brentford, first season in the Premier League. It'll be a big event for them to go to Old Trafford And that game is on at 3:00. So that's much nicer indeed.
It's a lot more
So there we
friendly.
go. A lot more friendly. So there's a lot of football happening this weekend. Champions League as well is in the semi-final stages. So next weekend will be the second round. That's a must-watch. So there's a lot of football coming up. It's all happening. It's all happening.
Good. I love it. What a game today. Man City versus
Oh my God,
Real
yeah.
Madrid. Like, wow, what a game.
Unbelievable game. Like the people were talking about it's the best Champions League game in years. Man City won 4-3 against Real Madrid. Just an end-to-end goals galore. Just what you want. It's unbelievable. Great storylines. Phil Foden, who's 21, who's probably England's best player now, and he's like, how could he be 21 and be so good at sport? It's ridiculous. Yeah, it was a great game. And the second leg is next week at the Santiago Bernabeu. I think it'll be Wednesday, 3:00. So that's a definite watch.
Yeah. So what a list of games. And yeah, the season's kind of winding down, but things are heating up, Matt, which that's how we like them here. I mean, Liverpool, Man City for the title, and then these other Championship League games. Chef's kiss.
Absolutely.
Picasso. I love it. All right. Our 100th Spud to Stud. Stud to Spud. Don't mean to give this one a little easy toss here, but Ben Simmons. Stud to Spud. No, seriously, what do you guys got here?
So I don't think anyone else caught it, but maybe Devin did. The Rays were pitching a no-hitter against my Boston Red Sox on Saturday. I got the update when it was going into extra innings. The Sox ended up winning, so they didn't get a no-hitter. But our very own alumni, Jeffrey Springs, pitched 2 no-hit innings for the Tampa Bay Rays. So the only reason he would be a spud is because he plays for the Rays. But congrats, Jeffrey. We're still cheering you on. Great job. And I hope you get a full no-hitter one day. That'd be great.
Hey, let's go, Jeff. Hey, you come on the pub, we guarantee you some good times. Not a no-hitter, but we guarantee you some good times.
He's just relieving, right, Jay Gray?
Middle reliever right now, yeah.
Okay, yeah. That's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Spud. No. Back that up. Stud to Spud. James Harden. Wow.
Ooh.
I mean, he's been kind of trending down for a while now, but like ever since this trade, he made all that fuss in Brooklyn.
Mm-hmm.
Got traded, got out, and like the time when you really need a shooter, and Embiid, and I think Embiid kind of called him out a little bit on shooting, and well, I say that it wasn't really calling out, but like this is the time where like if you make all that fuss and you're wanting out and you kind of pick the place, I mean, you got to produce, right? And he's just kind of his shooting percentage is continuing to decrease. Yeah, definitely stud to spud.
You know, this might put me in some hot water. I don't know, but I've never been sold on Harden, like ever. Offense, defense, he's never like been like, damn, this guy's really like MVP caliber. He's the next face of the NBA for me. Like I was never sold, even when he was in Houston. I was never a believer in Harden.
Cold-blooded.
They do what they do, baby boo.
I think my stud to spud. I may be speaking too soon, but I'm gonna say the Utah Jazz. I'm just gonna say collectively the Utah Jazz. I think their era is over. I think they had their opportunity. I just see this series crumbling, and then I see them like I could see them not making the playoffs next year. Like I could just see it all falling apart. And they had the best team a year ago. And I just think it was deflating how the season ended. You know, they were expected to go all the way. It's kind of what the Suns are doing, but it was more like the Suns, it's more related to an injury than it is just a total collapse. But But I think that's where I'm at with the Jazz, and especially after Luka just made Rudy Gobert just look foolish, like just doing old school, new school under the hoop there. Yeah, it's the Jazz for me. Again, maybe too early to tell. I could have an egg on my face next week if the Jazz somehow win too, but that's my spud right now.
My stud to spud is got to be the Mercedes Formula One team. From about 2015 to 2021, they dominated Formula One. They had their quickest car every single year. And this season, if anybody's had a look at the results recently, they are really bad. They're right. Lewis Hamilton is not even racing for podiums. He is finishing outside the points. He finished 13th this race this Sunday, which is ludicrous, absolutely ludicrous. They had a woeful season, Mercedes, and it's Ferrari and Red Bull all the way.
Flip side of that, Leclerc is the spud to stud.
Except he didn't do well last weekend.
He crashed out this weekend.
Hey, he's still the number one, right? Or he's still
he's still number one, but Verstappen's catching him.
Nah.
And it's Leclerc. He's Monacan.
Oh my
He's
God.
Monegasque.
Monegasque?
He's not Monaco. He's Monegasque.
Dang it. Okay.
That's what you get. Thank you, man.
Oh man, for me, it's us, boys. We're the spud to studs here. Who would have thought? People who have never even tried to do this thing before, making 100 episodes. Shout out to us. We deserve all the praise. All the studs are right here.
I'll drink to that.
That's right. Cheers to us. Like a little feel good memory there. All right, pub parlay time. We ready?
Ready.
We need to hit the bank account's looking dry. We need this.
Last week was really bad, wasn't it?
It was rough last week. We all let us down in some way.
I didn't even put money on it last week
Smart man.
because I knew it wasn't gonna hit.
This week, we're making bank. So, who wants to start us off here?
Okay. So speaking to my stud to spud, I do think the Jazz will win Game 6. So I want to make my bet the Mavs to win Game 7 on Saturday. But if the Mavs do close it out before then, I would need a backup pick.
Mm-hmm.
So if the Mavs Jazz is not available, like if I can't take the Mavs over the Jazz in Game 7, give me the Twins over the Rays on Saturday.
Okay. I like it. You had it.
We're already off to a complicated start, but that's how we do it.
That's how we do it here.
After a long dry spell, I'm going to mix it up big time. Can I do a Friday night NHL action?
Only
That's a no.
well, all right.
That's
Only
right.
if the Mavs win. So if Mavs win Game 7, or sorry, if Mavs lose Game 6, then you can.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Okay, so if the Mavs lose Game 6, I want the New York Rangers to beat the Capitals. And if the Mavs if Mavs wins Game 6, God, man, this is complicated, isn't it? Right, scrap the Rangers. Give me. I can't see Everton winning the game right now. Give me Chelsea to beat Everton.
Perfect.
While we're on football, I'm going to take Charlotte at home over Orlando because I'll be there.
Ooh. Hey,
yeah.
Charlotte is doing it right now. Bank of America, shout out to them.
Is rocking.
They're doing it right.
It's been really fun.
Orlando.
Good old David Beckham's club, right? Doesn't Beckham own Orlando?
He owns Inter Miami.
Oh, Miami. Okay. All right, Tim, Dev.
Well, it's time to bring it back, gang. I'm taking the Astros over the Blue Jays on Saturday. Book it.
You know, Tim taking the Astros does make me feel safe.
Does it?
Doesn't
It
make
makes me feel safe. It makes me feel safe.
Oh, my Lord.
They're a good organization.
Blue Jays have been real good this year.
Yeah, they have.
Always pick the dog.
Go Sox over the Orioles Saturday because we're going to be out of pitching. So
Wow.
we're not going to be able to do shit.
Man, you guys have been covering the spread though. Shout out to Baltimore for covering the spread. Like, what?
Doesn't mean anything.
12
if you
out
don't
of 3
win.
times. That's all right. It means it to us. Damn it, to us, not to Devin.
I'm just getting shit on. I'm leaving.
Hey, I just said you guys are winning us money a little bit. It was a shout out to Baltimore.
I did my own ball club a disservice by
Mm.
betting against them, and I got shit on for it.
Yeah, that's sad.
Oh man. You know, NHL's getting close to playoff time, which I'm excited for. So there's not a lot of NHL games we can pick this weekend. So I'm gonna go MLB. I'm gonna lay it down. Who's playing the Reds?
Oh my gosh.
The Rockies. Give me the Rockies. Rockies money line over the Reds. We stink.
Wow.
Rockies over.
So I'm right there with you, Slate.
Reds.
Back in my day, you used to pull for your team, not root against them.
So what-
Our owner's the biggest piece of shit. So.
What's the parlay? Read it back to me. I always text. There's a group of people I have to text this because they're always interested in the parlay.
Oh, because they like losing money as well.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah. They go, oh, there's their picks. We're gonna go opposite this weekend. All right, so we got maybe Mavs game 7 Sunday with maybe Rangers money line Friday. Everything else is Twins Saturday. Chelsea money line over Everton. Charlotte money line over Orlando. Astros money line Saturday. Red Sox money line Saturday. Rockies money line Saturday. Baseball picks, I feel real strong about. Soccer picks, I feel real strong about.
Wait, so Matt, what's the deal with Chelsea? If the Mavs don't win, or no,
Well-
if the Mavs win Game 6,
It was so I could take the Rangers, but you know what? You can scrap the Rangers and
they scrap the Rangers.
scrap the Rangers and just have Chelsea.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mine's the only one that has it's either Mavs in 7 or Twins.
Okay. I like it.
Yeah.
I'm here for it. Well, listeners, hopefully you like losing money with us. We're going to Uno reverse that. Get it back. Random question for episode 100.
I guess what's your favorite like sporting 100? Like, is it a 100-yard touchdown, or have you got a favorite 100-yard touchdown? Like mine would be probably a player's 100 Premier League goals, or I don't know, 100 home runs. Is that a thing?
I like it.
I don't like it. The only thing that comes to mind is the Usain Bolt and the 100-meter dash. But I'm like, I don't even
Oh.
know. I don't know what to do with that.
Well, that's a good one. Yeah, but it's like your favorite sporting
Like an
100.
event. Yeah.
And that's one of your favorite athletes, Fitz. So I think it works pretty well.
I
Yeah.
love some Usain Bolt.
Could do favorite pub memory.
Ooh,
Favorite pub memory.
I like that.
I got mine.
All right, Jay.
Gobble, gobble, bitches.
We're getting a t-shirt this fall. Fall
Yeah.
line. We're getting that.
Yeah, that was a classic.
Hey, speaking of t-shirts, we got Smack Apparel coming on next week.
Let's go.
So, and they want to send us some free goodies. And listeners, watchers, huge announcement coming next week with Smack Apparel. I think you know where it's headed. Little handshake emoji, nod and grin emoji.
You dirty dog.
We talking merger? Merger.
Not quite merger. No one's willing to pay us to quit our day jobs quite yet.
One of my favorite pub memories is when we got together and watched Devin eat hot one sauce. That
Oh,
was
the
fun.
hot ones challenge.
Yeah.
Man.
I
think it was
thoroughly enjoyed
fun.
that.
Had a great time.
On the flip side, at least you finished that challenge, unlike Fitz.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was
The beer mile.
that's not my favorite memory. I thought that was gonna go way smoother than it did.
You were
You were-
confident as hell.
So confident.
My body shut down. Like my body just physically said Control Alt Delete. Like, no, you're done.
Oh man.
I'm trying to think my favorite memory. I think because we covered guests with the Mount Rushmore, because there's a part of it is I just enjoyed shooting the shit with Asher Roth. That was definitely fun. But I think with this group, honestly, I think my favorite memories are like when we were just getting started and it was just in the wake of COVID and there was no sports on and we were literally just like going out of our minds. Like, there's no sports. Like, what do we do? Like, what do we do for fun? And then just kind of those conversations we had of just kind of, we'd pick a topic like, who's the GOAT athlete, or, was the biggest bust of all time. And it was really, there was an appreciation to just kind of shoot the shit with friends in a time when, the world was shut down and sports weren't going on. And it just kind of gave you a different appreciation of like, oh, like this is why sports are important. Like even what we were talking about today with like fan bases, like booing and fighting, it's like, there's a thought in my mind is like, it's bigger than this, like it's bigger than Green Bay, Chicago. It's bigger than Boston, New York. It's like, yeah, like we have teams, but like, it's about that communal aspect. It's about like bringing people together, and enjoyment of the game and love of the game. And I think that kind of was embodied with kind of COVID shutting down sports and launching this podcast. So that's probably mine. More sentimental answer there.
A good feel-good answer there. But no, you're exactly. This is why we started. This is to kill some time and be like, man, we need something to get our brains off this, and sports aren't it right now because we don't have it. So yeah.
Yeah. Now I look forward to it. Now it makes my week because I'm surrounded by people in school who literally know nothing about sports. So I'll be like, hey, I'll be at that Sixers game. And they'll be like, wait, what are the Sixers? And it's just like, all right, see you, have a good day. And I'm like, oh, it's Tuesday. I get to talk on the pod. So
hell yeah.
so
Yeah.
It's cool.
It helps the week. Tuesdays are my favorite early day of the week there.
Ooh, my favorite probably moment is every time we call Jay Gray a Charlotte Panthers, a South Carolina Panthers fan.
That look.
You're gonna get a frightened bird of me.
Oh, I love it.
She was too stunned to speak.
I tried to give you my teacher look. It didn't work, apparently.
Oh, man.
I got one out of them today.
Honorable mention. Shout out to when we got Matt on the podcast.
Yeah.
Just kind of reaching out through Packers Pod. But yeah, Matt's been an awesome addition.
Yeah. It's been a great addition. Yeah. Him and Jay Gray both.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Fit like a glove.
Really bring the pub together, guys.
Matt and I are besties. Don't let that comment fool you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dev, favorite memory?
Honestly, it was kind of like one of the memories that made me realize that like we weren't just like listening to ourselves. Like obviously we have listeners, but like when the pub parlay was when we had like the big hit, I had like so many people texting me like, dude, the fucking Wolves, like, let's go, dude. Like I was I was like snowboarding that day, and I had no service or nothing, and I had so many people just like texting me updates. I'm like, fucking leave me alone, I'm gonna wreck. It was cool to see, like, you know, all the efforts that we put into it and all that stuff, like pay off, and you know, people listen, and you know, kind of just it was cool to, like, you know, associate with that. So
And the
of
Wolves
course,
hit.
and of course the win. So
Yeah.
The Wolves hit twice.
yeah, yeah, insanity twice.
Fucking locks of the century, Wolverhampton.
Wolves fan for life.
Hey, I couldn't have said it better myself, guys. Literally, all those memories rolled up in one. Just the camaraderie we have, the closeness we have, and us seeing our work and our hard work kind of branch out to other people, which has been awesome to see. And you know, we've inspired other podcasts to do the thing. Shout out Forward Score Sports and those type of guys. What a ride! Here's to 100 more. Cheers, and we'll catch you guys next Tuesday. Have a good one. Yeah.
Bye.
Have a wonderful time.
See ya.
In a bit, go well.
Thought we were gonna get Jake ready to say something.
We just got the wavy hands. I don't know what he runs in the 40, but that man is quick.
Yeah, I fuck with the Spiders, man, and just like Richmond in general is a good place to hang out. I'm
Yeah,
gonna pick
Richmond,
them
dude.
just off
Let's
the-
go.
He gave me really great pointers on how to get pissed up before a soccer game.
Yo, but on the real, fuck
so
these competitive
I'm
pops.
really
I want more.
excited.
Wait, what are the
It's
pointers?
everywhere.
That was a journey.
Fitzmagic in September is like one of the hottest athletes in the world.
It was like FU Up Fridays, and I guess he got me. I went with baseball, but it has different rules that go along with it that kind of go behind our underlying theme of getting
10
fans
seconds.
involved, keeping fans.
If I catch it in my beer, does that still count?
10 seconds.
Oh. You do it from the bottom.
Yeah,
That's what I
dude.
did wrong.
Make sure you shake it, dude.
Hold on, we got to pop it at the end. We're gonna be off the air, but
Popping
Yeah,
bottles.
pop it, Fitz.
Twisty.
oh.